Hey guys, it's Matthew here once again, and for the next build, it is yet another huge pile of memes. We're not quite onto good builds just yet, but what we have here is Pestilent Strike, Elemental Damage, and specifically Int and Lightning stacking Elementalist. Basically, let's just start from the beginning. We looked at the pneumatic dagger base, which is your damage, all damage that you do can poison. And with that, I thought, I haven't played Pestilent Strike in a while. I'd really like to do that. And that means I don't necessarily have to be a Pathfinder for the Prolif. And I wanted to take it basically as hipster approach as possible, and I thought what's really good for elemental damage stacking, we could try getting int stacking. So since pneumatic daggers are from heist, they come based, they aren't any sort of influence. Put a hunter influence on it, rolled int stack, awaken orbed with an elder for extra chaos damage over time, for extra poison damage, and then built an int stack elementalist around it because we take advantage of elemental overload, we take advantage of convergence and all of the golem's damage nodes. Ends up being probably a little better than an assassin, and also has some good viability for thickness in the form of stone golem and chaos golem. So in the end, we are a character that has about 10,000 ES, currently still off of a bad chess piece, and has a pretty decent clear speed, has pretty decent meme potential, not much replayability or copyability, but it is yet another pile of memes that you can do in this game. Just an example, more of a proof of concept of some dumb shit you can do. That said, Pestilent Strike isn't too bad, especially for ultimatums. Were you to do this with a Pathfinder, you would clean up ultimatums insanely well, because the Poison Prolif plus the Pestilent Strike gives you some real nice overlapping sort of proliferation, whereas in this case, Pestilent Strike just carries over the poison damage that it would have done on an enemy that dies. To enemies around it based off of your area. So it's not going to do huge amounts of prolif, but it does do decent bits, and once the poison duration runs out, that's when it's not going to spread. So you can see that it is decent for ultimatums. Unfortunately, as an elementalist, this is a build that doesn't like shatter or freeze or kill things instantly, so golems will be dying from time to time during ultimatums. Hasn't been too much of an issue because we are still pretty thick otherwise, and they don't die instantly, and they come back pretty quickly. The big issue with a build like this is going to be the single target, because Pestilent Strike just isn't very good for single target. We can swap to Viper Strike for single target, and it'll be a little better. Let's say DPS is currently about 3 million fully ramped, then Viper Strike is going to be like 4 or 5 million, basically exact same skill, just has more single target potential, since this one has more area potential. Other than that, it's a bit of a headache just putting together all the int gear and trying to min-max poison damage at the same time, because we're not just going for int, we're also going for chaos damage over time multiplier, which for us is largely coming from cluster jewels. And that is also going to incorporate low tolerance, which gives you a lot of extra poison damage on your initial hit to unpoisoned enemies. You can start to see that with the large amount of Ancestral Call, Melee Splash, and Pestilent Strike on big packs, the game can actually start lagging a bit as well. Good example on these Blight monsters, and there's a few other little like large pack examples like ultimatums as well. But that's pretty much all I need to show you, wanted to show you, and from here I'm just going to go in and show you how I built the character and the idea behind it. So here's my current character, level 84 Elementalist called Generic Witch build. Yep, name speaks for itself, nothing special going on here, super generic Pestilent Strike int stacking Elementalist. So it is based around this type of weapon. All damage from hits with this weapon can poison. As I mentioned, the only real poison thing I felt like doing at the moment is Pestilent Strike, since it's been a while, and looking at this dagger I was thinking maybe dexterity cold damage stack, maybe stack a whole bunch of damage from abyssal jewels, or do some shit like that. But then int stack and then trying it as a CI base sounded kind of interesting because the passive tree felt like it wanted to be more top heavy than it did down this way for elemental damage stack, as opposed to just pure poison, chaos, and all that. So grabbed a Hunter Orb, put 1 to 6 lightning damage on there, grabbed an Elder Dagger that had the 58 damage over time poison mod, smashed those two together, hopefully something good happened, and it gave us good cold damage, which, once again, going to be additional damage since it can poison, and then it just crafted attack speed, and that's what we're basing our entire build off of. Pestilent Strike here doesn't have anything too special going on. The duration's kind of low compared to Viper Strike, for example, but it's got the Prolif, or the sort of Prolif mimic type thing going on, so it means we don't have to be a Pathfinder to have good clear. Whereas if we did Viper Strike, it'd be absolutely trash tier clear. If we did Cobra Lash, it'd be okay, but still the Prolif is really what carries the clear, especially in ultimatums. So using Pestilent Strike, and it's going to run out of single target damage. I expect the next video to have some flaccid single target, maybe not even do a lot of endgame content. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm not thinking it's going to be very big. Other than that, nothing too special going on, just like int stacking gear. However, a Blizzard Crown is used because, once again, extra cold damage gives us extra poison damage, and it's got a Pestilent Strike enchant, which is a pretty powerful 40% increased duration. There is also a very powerful focus for helms that I have yet to be able to put onto this helm, and that is 140% duration of ailments you inflict while focused. So during the focus for 4 seconds, you'll have 140% duration, which is absolutely huge for poison builds, and that's probably what I'll try and incorporate as well eventually. Other than that, grabbed a int implicit amulet chaos spam till we got 2 good things, both int and all stats, and that's what's happening there. Basically, for me, int stacking or stat stacking characters are just a lot of chaos spam, because eventually you hit something good and it's pretty fun. We then had a int implicit belt here, which actually was spite essences, because can't get int otherwise, with the attribute catalyst as well. Grab some boots. Boots aren't very special at all. They're kind of pieces of shit, but got some int on them. Grabbed a ring off the market for not too much, maybe 30C or some shit. Dex, we do need plenty of dex in the build. So dexterity, int, and a bit of LE damage with attacks. Another similar ring, just with some accuracy. Might get rid of it though, kind of want something a bit better. This is going to be a bit of a tough item, because if we want attack speed, we want chaos damage over time, we want int, and then we also want 3 energy shield prefixes. I've currently just got the 2 good damage mods, and then I'll try and work on the prefixes another time. Likewise, with the chest, a holy grail of int stuff is getting percent int, flat int, and then a spare suffix to put percent attributes onto. Unfortunately, I have 0 fucking ES on it, so Blizzard Crowns can't get much ES. Our gloves get basically no ES. Don't have any ES anywhere else, and a bit there. And our chest is currently meaningless, and we've still got 9.5 thousand. With just a few more levels, I'll hit 10,000, and it's basically all just because of a shield. So just threw a few dense fossils onto a shield, something like 50 dense fossils, 60 dense fossils, and ended up hitting the T1 energy shield rolls. Then I have this hybrid, which I put on through an exalt, I believe, because I had to get rid of a suffix, had to get rid of a prefix, add a suffix, because there was something else there. Then there was a spare prefix, and we just exalt slammed, and then put int and qual, and it's a pretty beefy shield. That's pretty much all my energy shield in the build. Otherwise, we are certainly making use of clusters and getting some energy from naught. I have 2 energy from naughts, over there, and then 2 savor the moments. I didn't exactly want savor the moment, but it's not bad. It just came with a bunch of int when I was trying to, or some nice small stat mods when I was trying to create these jewels, just either through a bit of chaos spam or some alt regaling. Ideally what you're looking for is some really big int. So this one is pretty nice, 14 int and 35 effect, just some alt regaling. Save of the moment is ideal though, so 10 int, sorry, energy from naught is ideal because we do want a whole bunch of extra energy shield, and int stacking does provide you with a lot of extra percent energy shield. You don't have to get as much from the tree basically. Otherwise, yep, there's nothing good really going on with our large clusters here, just using the dagger ones. Tried to get a bit of int, but there's only one really good node, and that's disease vector, 10 damage over time, multi for poison, and then using mediums that focus mostly on low tolerance. And then I've also got some crap attached to it, low tolerance comboed with brush with death. So that is our energy shield sustain for the most part on the large packs, and the same one over here. Otherwise, got some regen, got some leech, and I'm anointing this dagger node for our mana, our leech, bit of damage, bit of attack speed. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's all pretty simple. Getting Zealot's Oath for our regen, getting Elemental Overload so that our damage actually goes even higher from the element to the poison, and then Anima Stone so that we can have 5 golems up. And flasks, as per usual, all kinds of shit. Using Herald of Agony, which is the divergent version, so that we have more poison, because without it, we've got 80% chance poison on hit. With this, we have 100% poison, so that this flask does help with poison, but if it's not up, it's not 100% crucial. And then, other than that, don't know. Melee Splash and Ancestral Call, those two combined do some pretty good extra clear. Maybe I can get rid of Melee Splash, but for the most part, it feels nice to have both. Using Discipline and Skitterbots, so Skitterbots attached to Bone Chill, once again, just for a bit of extra damage. And then Chaos Golem, Blood Ray, still figuring everything out otherwise, because we do need a Wither Totem setup as well. It's going to be tough to squeeze everything in. But that's all I've got for now for the character. Just trying to make another huge meme character work, and it's kind of working. Not really sure it's too worth doing, but Pestilent Strike's not too bad. And just play a very vanilla version of Pestilent Strike as a Pathfinder. Do big chaos damage weapon or a big physical weapon, and should carry you through maps pretty nicely. But for now, I'd say that's all I've got to say about this guy. Hope you guys enjoyed the little concept and the character, and hopefully does some endgame content by next video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.